Did you know there's a river in India that disappears into the sands before reaching the sea? Or that the third highest mountain in the world is partly located in India? What if I told you that India has an area about the size of metropolitan France covered by layers of hardened lava flows? Well, India is a country full of insane geography facts like these. So, buckle up, because we're about to reel off 15 of the craziest physical geography facts about India you probably haven't heard of. Fact 1. India has one of the longest coastlines in Asia. India's coastline is about 7,500 kilometers long if you count all the islands, too. This makes India's coast the 7th longest in Asia and 15th globally. This extensive coastline stretches along the Arabian Sea on the west, the Bay of Bengal on the east, and the Indian Ocean in the south. This vast coastal area is a dynamic zone with diverse landforms such as cliffs, beaches, estuaries, and deltas. It includes the mainland coast as well as the island groups of Lakshadweep in the Arabian Sea and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal. Speaking of diverse landforms, do you know that India has almost every type of natural landform on Earth? Fact 2. India has nearly all the major physical features of Earth. It's a common belief that countries have mostly one or two land features, but India has almost every type of natural landform you can think of. There are high mountains, wide plains, dry deserts, big plateaus, large deserts, and numerous islands. In fact, if you travel from the snowy Himalayas in the north to the tropical beaches of the South's islands, you'll experience all kinds of weather, plants, animals, and landscapes. For a country of 3.3 million square kilometers, this is a very rare geographical trait, as few landmasses contain such a complete assembly of features in a relatively compact area. Fact 3. The world's highest mountain range is partly located within India. The Himalayas stretch about 2,400 to 2,500 kilometers across northern India. These mountains are the tallest in the world. Many people know the Himalayas because they hold Mount Everest, but the ones in India are just as amazing. It ranges in breadth from approximately 240 to 320 kilometers and comprises three main parallel ranges: the Great Himalayas, Himadri, the Lesser Himalayas, Himachal, and the Shivaliks. The Himalayas separate India from the rest of Asia and affect the climate a lot by blocking cold winds and helping rains during the monsoon. The mountains are still growing today, moving a few millimeters every year because of tectonic plates pushing against each other. They stretch from Jammu and Kashmir in the west to Arunachal Pradesh in the east, hosting some of the highest peaks on the planet. Among these peaks is Kangchenjunga, which brings us to the next fact. Fact 4. Kangchenjunga in Sikkim is India's highest peak. Kangchenjunga is the highest mountain in India, standing at 8,586 meters tall. It's the third highest mountain in the whole world. To put Kangchenjunga's height into perspective, it is over 1,200 meters taller than Mont Blanc, the highest peak in the Alps, and towers over any peak in the Western Hemisphere, with the sole exception of Denali in Alaska. Kangchenjunga's name means the 5 treasures of snow, referencing its 5 distinct summits, and it remains one of the lesser climb giants due to its challenging terrain and cultural significance among local communities. This peak is also a crucial source for many glacier-fed rivers that irrigate northeastern India and parts of Bangladesh. Fact 5. The Ganga-Brahmaputra basin forms one of the world's largest and densest alluvial plains. If you want to explore one of the most amazing natural wonders of India, start with the Ganga-Brahmaputra basin, which creates one of the world's largest and most fertile alluvial plains. This plain stretches an incredible 2,400 kilometers long from north to south and varies between 240 to 320 kilometers wide. Many people believe the Indo-Gangetic Plain ends at India's borders. But what if I told you it extends across parts of Nepal and Bangladesh too, nourishing one of the most densely populated areas on Earth? This basin is formed by the sediments carried down from the towering Himalayan mountains by the mighty Ganga and Brahmaputra rivers. These rivers deposit rich alluvial soil, i.e., soil made from tiny particles of sand, clay, and silt, making the land incredibly fertile for agriculture. If you were to fly over this plain, you'd barely notice any hills because it's so flat and stretches as far as the eye can see. This flatness is called extreme horizontality, and the plain's average elevation is just about 200 meters above sea level. And that's not all. Don't go anywhere, as our next fact about the Ganga-Brahmaputra will surprise you. Fact 6. The largest river delta on Earth is partly in India. Stretching across the border of India and Bangladesh, covering around 105,000 square kilometers, the Ganga River Delta, or more precisely, the Ganga-Brahmaputra Delta, holds the title of the largest river delta on Earth. Approximately 2/3 of the delta is in Bangladesh. The rest constitutes the state of West Bengal, India. The delta is formed where the Ganga and Brahmaputra rivers meet the Bay of Bengal, splitting into countless smaller rivers and streams. A unique feature here is the Sundarbans, the world's largest mangrove forest, famous for its rich biodiversity and Royal Bengal tigers. The delta supports the livelihoods of millions through agriculture and fisheries, but is also extremely vulnerable to climate change and sea level rise due to its low-lying topography and dynamic sedimentary nature. Fact 7. India has one of the largest volcanic provinces on Earth. The Deccan Trap is a massive volcanic formation in the peninsular region of India, covering around 500,000 square kilometers, making it one of the largest volcanic provinces on the planet. To put it into perspective, that's an area the size of metropolitan France, covered up by layers of hardened lava flows formed by volcanic eruptions that happened between 60 and 68 million years ago. These eruptions were so massive, they are believed to have played a role in the extinction of dinosaurs by releasing large amounts of gases into the atmosphere. The Deccan Trap region is famous because it helped form one of the most fertile soil types in India, called black soil or Reger soil. This soil holds moisture well and is excellent for growing cotton, making it India's black gold for farmers. However, the black soil is not the only holy grail in India's physical geography, as we're about to find out in the next fact. Fact 8. The Great Rann of Kutch is one of the largest salt deserts in the world. The Great Rann of Kutch is a vast salt desert in India, covering around 7,500 square kilometers, making it one of the largest salt deserts in the world. However, there's something very intriguing about this salt desert. It transforms between a dry salt desert and a shallow marsh depending on the monsoon. Many think deserts are always hot and dry, but here you have a unique wetland that submerges underwater for several months, creating a surreal white salt desert during the dry season. The Great Rann salt flats are formed by the evaporation of seawater that floods the area through creeks during high tides and monsoon rains. This natural interplay of land, water, and salt at such scale is unique globally, ranking the Great Rann of Kutch among the world's most fascinating endorheic basins and salt deserts. However, the Great Rann of Kutch isn't the only desert with such a disappearing phenomenon. Fact 9. The Indian Plate was once part of the ancient Gondwana supercontinent. Many people believe that India has always been where it is today, but that's not true. The Indian subcontinent, which includes the countries of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, the Maldives, and sometimes Afghanistan, depending on who you ask, actually sits on a massive tectonic plate called the Indian Plate, which was once part of a vast ancient landmass known as Gondwana. Gondwana was a supercontinent millions of years ago, containing what we now know as South America, Africa, Antarctica, Australia, and India. However, about 100 million years ago, this Indian plate broke away from Gondwana and started moving northward at an incredible speed, roughly 20 centimeters per year, faster than most other plates. It drifted over 2,000 to 3,000 kilometers towards what is now Asia. This geological drift eventually led to the Indian plate colliding with the Eurasian plate around 50 million years ago. This collision pushed up sediments inland, creating the mighty Himalayas, the tallest mountains on Earth, including Mount Everest. Fact 10. There is a river in India that disappears into the sands before reaching the sea. The Thar Desert, also called the Great Indian Desert, is one of the largest deserts in the world, covering about 200,000 square kilometers in northwest India and extending into Pakistan. The Thar Desert is home to ephemeral rivers, which are short-lived and seasonal. One famous river is the Luni. It flows mainly during the monsoon season, but surprisingly doesn't reach the sea. Instead, it disappears into the sands of the desert. This happens because the river's water evaporates quickly or seeps into the dry ground before it can meet the Arabian Sea. Now, if we zoom out from the desert's sandy terrain and think about the larger climate of India, we find another common myth waiting to be challenged. Fact 11. India is not always hot and humid. It's a common belief that India is always hot and humid, but that's far from reality. India's climate is incredibly diverse because of its vast size and geographical features like mountains, plateaus, coasts, and deserts. In the northern Himalayas, temperatures can plummet to below freezing, with heavy snowfall every winter. In contrast, the Thar Desert is scorching and dry for most of the year. The thing is, monsoons dominate India's weather cycle, but they do not affect all regions equally. The Western Ghats' windward side receives heavy rain, supporting lush greenery. Yet, just a short distance away, the rain shadow region gets very little rainfall. In the northeast, places like Cherrapunji and Mawsynram are some of the wettest spots globally, recording over 11,000 millimeters, 430 inches of rain annually. To put that in perspective, that's around 200 times the rainfall some desert areas receive. But India always being hot and humid isn't the only geographical misconception we should be concerned about. Fact 12. Every river in India is not flowing southward. Ask many Westerners and you'll probably get the same answer. Rivers in India flow southward towards the ocean. This is a widespread misconception, yet in reality, Indian rivers flow in multiple directions depending on their origin and the land's slope. For example, several rivers in northern and eastern India, like the Ganges and Brahmaputra, flow eastward towards the Bay of Bengal, while some rivers, such as the Narmada and Tapi, flow westward into the Arabian Sea. In the south, rivers like the Godavari and Krishna flow eastward into the Bay of Bengal, but others, like the Periyar and Kerala, flow westward, emptying into the Arabian Sea. Fact 13. India has some of the most complex and numerous organized doab systems known. Do you know that the word doab literally means land between two rivers? It's a unique and very important geographical feature of Punjab and northern India. Punjab, by the way, means land of 5 rivers, so imagine how much water flows through this region. The famous Indo-Gangetic plains of Punjab are divided into several doabs, each named by the rivers that enclose them. For example, the Bari Doab lies between the Beas and Ravi rivers, while the Rakhna Doab is between the Ravi and Chenab rivers. These doabs are fertile alluvial plains formed by the continuous deposit of river sediments, making them some of the most agriculturally productive lands in India. Now, moving from the fertile floodplains of Punjab, let's travel south to one of the oldest landmasses on Earth. Fact 14. The Peninsular Plateau is one of the oldest and most stable landmasses on Earth. The Peninsular Plateau, dating back to the Precambrian era, more than 540 million years ago, is one of the oldest landmasses on the planet. Composed mostly of hard igneous and metamorphic rocks, this plateau covers nearly 40% of India's land area, stretching across states like Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. This makes it the largest physiographic division in India. To put it into perspective, unlike the alluvial plains of northern India, which are younger and formed by river deposits, the Peninsular Plateau is a very stable and rocky region. This makes it the backbone of peninsular India, with vast mineral wealth including iron ore, mica, coal, and bauxite found here, supporting many industries. It's also the source of many major rivers like the Godavari and the Krishna, which flow eastward into the Bay of Bengal. The plateau is often dotted with hills and smaller mountain ranges such as the Vindhyas and the Satpuras. Finally, moving to the northeast, we find some hills with unusual orientations. Fact 15. Garo, Khasi, and Jaintia hills run almost east-west. When you shift your focus to northeast India, you encounter one of the most unique hill ranges, the Garo, Khasi, and Jaintia Hills, located in Meghalaya, part of the larger Meghalaya Plateau. Unlike most mountain ranges in India that run north-south, these hills run almost east-west, an unusual orientation that is intriguing from a geological standpoint. This region is known for its incredible biodiversity and remains one of the wettest places on Earth. Do you know about Cherrapunji and Mawsynram here? These two villages vie for the title of the highest annual rainfall on the planet, sometimes receiving over 11,000 millimeters or 11 meters of rain every year. To put that into perspective, that's over 10 times the annual rainfall of most parts of India. Geographically, these hills are part of the Shillong Plateau and rise up to about 1,950 meters. The terrain is undulating with steep ridges and deep valleys, shaped by rivers like the Kapili and Surma with spectacular waterfalls. If you enjoyed these crazy facts about India, there are more where these came from. Just subscribe to our channel and wait for our next upload. While you wait, watch our earlier video, 15 Crazy Facts About Mexico's Geography You Probably Never Knew. Trust me, you'll be entertained. Tap your screen right now to watch. Thanks for watching.